guys, this is Kim from Milling About. Today we're going to show you how we are installing our composting toilets. We brought home our beautiful rig yesterday and we did a 6-hour course to learn how to drive it and learn how to tow it. So our leveling is not so great. I'm going to show them some leveling, Ryan.
There's the leveling.
You don't have to zoom in.
It looks delicious.
Okay, so I already have one of the composting toilets in. We bought a C head instead of one of the others because you can actually make urine into the black tank. But you still have the waste matter into a medium, and so that's why we chose this one. So we can go ahead and we can show you the one I already have installed, and then we'll show you the secondary install. Okay, so we're going to show you the C head that we installed. We ordered the mahogany with a bottom exit kit. With the bottom exit kit, it puts the urine down into the black tank, and you have a bucket system for the solids. So if you come on over here, the way you use this one is you lift it on up. It's got a cover in here. So it has the separation, and it's got the bucket in there. And so you just put this back on, and you close this up. It comes with a little handle. You put the handle in there, and then you stir it. The medium in there covers up, and it's almost like a litter box that covers up all of the solids. Then you take that, it hasn't touched anything inside of the toilet except for the churn handle, so it's not contaminated at all, so you just stick it down here next to your toilet. So when you're ready to change out your solids to clean it, all you do is open this up here, make sure nothing's dripping from here, grab the handle here and pull it out. You just need to put a plastic bag over it and then dump the whole thing, put some more medium back in there and stick it back in. And that's all there is to it. Okay, so we have our toilet here. This is our secondary one. The Solitude 380 has 2 bathrooms in it, so this is our front bathroom toilet. It came in a big box. It's very well packed, so it's not going to be damaged. Got a lot of the material on it that we got to cut off, so got to get that stuff off. Not too bad. So it comes with a lot of parts inside of it. So we're going to take out the poo bucket and take out all of the extra parts that we've got. Don't need that just yet. Okay, so this bag is the bag of bottom exit kit parts. This is really important to be able to show you guys how to do this part of it because there wasn't a real good instructional. Recently there was a blog made, but having somebody to actually show you how to do some of this stuff will help out later on. So we get all of that stuff out. It does come with instructions, but again, the bottom exit kit isn't shown really well in this one. Okay, so the next part was to make the template for your flange and any water that we had. So that is over here. I've already done that part of it. And that really was the longest part, making sure that it was in the right spot. Now we've got one part here that I ended up cutting 2 holes so I could use one template, but I'm going to end up having to cut an extra piece here. So we're going to go ahead and do that. This camera's got to follow me. So one of the pieces that came with it was this thick styrofoam. So this makes it really easy to be able to cut your template because you can put it on here and cut right into the styrofoam and not have to worry about it all. So let's get this part cut. So I got that piece off. All right. So one of the things that I'm going to have to do with this one is I'm going to have to draw around a little bit in from here because the other toilet, the flange was a little bit further forward. This one's going to be a little bit more back. So I've got to make sure that I don't have too much extra in this part right here. So we've got our template. That obviously didn't take long because I only had one little piece. Now Mike over there is putting carpet together for our living room and for our bed slides. Our rig came with 2 couches, but we had them take those out because both of our kids are going to be in the slides. Those are their bedrooms, so we're making beds for them in those slides, but we're carpeting in there to make sure that none of the staples that are sticking up from it being carpeted before are cutting into any feet or anything else. So we wanted to make sure that that was covered up. So now we were lucky enough to buy this rig new, so getting our toilets in there, the black tank has never been used. We didn't have to do any kind of maintenance with the black tank at all. So we had them take the toilets out for us, so I don't have anything showing you how to take the toilets out because we didn't have to do that. So let's get started on cutting up this toilet. So first thing you're going to do is take out these 3 screws on the very back here and take off this lid, because you're going to need to turn it over. You have 3 different screws. You got 2 that are long and 1 that's short. So the short one goes in this one right here, and then the back and the outside one are your longer ones. So now you put your screws, and you're going to flip these up. This piece comes off, and so does this top part. You're going to put your screws and your top in a safe place until you're all done. Now you're going to flip this over so that your urine dispenser doesn't get damaged. We're going to put our screws right there with it so we don't lose them. All right, so now, it's very hot out here. It's like 90 degrees. Keep hydrated.
Hydration.
All right, so we're going to take our cabinet. Inside is your pedestal for your bucket, because you've got a lot of information, a lot of equipment going on in the bottom here. You need a pedestal to sit above it. So we're going to take that off, stick it with the bucket so we don't lose it. And then we're going to take this thing and flip it over. We have a lot of waste product from our last one. Now, when you have this one, you want to make sure that your template, the top of it, is actually upside down. Because when you drew your flange and the direction of where your other holes are, you put that on the top. So make sure you got it the right direction. So then once we've got that, we're going to line it up on here. Use our pencil and draw around it. Now this one I'm going to cut off just a little bit around here so I don't have extra, and come around all the way around. There we go. Because remember, we use this template for something else. Okay, so now, so what you're going to do is you're going to drill a pilot hole This one's a little bit thick. So you're going to get your drill. Make sure it's charged because you want to be able to use it. You're going to drill inside of your line so that you could drill a pilot hole. Make sure it's going the right direction. That's going backwards. There we go. Now this is almost like a plastic that is on the bottom here. I think this is more wood on the sides, but this is more like a plastic. So the plastic that's coming out of here, okay, so we got a problem here because when we drilled into this part of it, in the back, when we flip it over, I'll show you here. There's a thick piece right here. So now that we've got this big thick piece here, we're not going to be able to cut that hole very well. So now I got to figure out what to do. I'm going to have to figure out how to cut through this whole piece right here. Now, I probably could cut through this whole piece, but my jigsaw is not going to do that. So I'm going to drill another pilot hole over here. So even with the second one, you sometimes run into problems. Okay, so I can cut it this direction as much as I can, and then I will figure out how to cut from there. Alright, so now we've got our jigsaw. So we're going to cut this all the way around our circle. Now, one of the things that we did run into is when we're going around, these pads are in the way. So you have to lift up above these pads. So you might have to go around twice to make sure everything gets cut. Alright, we're going to go ahead and cut this. Now you want to hold it so it doesn't slide. Okay, so we got everything cut in the bottom, and one of the problems that we were having is we've got a stand right here where our bucket has to sit on top of. We've got a water hose here that we got to try to push down or bend around to be able to get the bucket on here. So we were having problems getting the back part cut, but we got it in there, and our flange fits perfectly. So now we're going to go and get all of our parts that we need and show you what we need to install the rest of the kit. Alright, we'll see you in a bit. Okay, so I have all the parts in here now. This is the bottom exit kit. So this is the part that goes into your flange inside. It's fine. This is your P-trap. So okay.
Oh, thanks.
So this is your P-trap that catches the smells and all of that stuff from your pipes. So
Urination.
without this, it will smell in here. So the one in the back bathroom was angled, so we needed to use our angle to be able to put this down in there. However, the one in the front bathroom is not. So we will be using just a regular one. Now, one of the things that we do on here is use some cement, some actual plumbing cement, or you need to use a little screw to go through and screw it on here. So we will be doing that part of it. Once that's done, you push it on here, nice and tight, and then you're going to drop this down into the flange that's in the toilet. Now the next thing that I need to actually do before I do any of that stuff is I need to screw some holes into, or drill some holes into this part of it so that it can connect to the flange where the bolts are. So we're going to do that, but I need to measure it and it'll... Okay, so we've got it in here. You don't want to push this down yet because you don't have your P-trap in there or anything like that. Now see, if you can see down there, I don't know if you can, it's straight down, so that when you put your P-trap in here, that'll just drop right in there. That's why you need to make sure that you either cement it or screw it onto here so that it doesn't drop down in there and then you can't get it back. So you're going to test this. One of the things that you want to look at is these screws here are going to screw it to the bottom here. So you need to make sure that when you're turning this here, adjust your toilet so that that will be covered when you screw it down. And that looks good there. So once I have my measurements here, actually, if I do it this way, I'll know exactly where it is. So it'll be in the middle here. Okay, so now we've got our little marks here. We'll be able to go inside and drill it. Okay, so we got our flange holes drilled, and we also got our P-trap screwed into here so it's not going to fall off. Okay, so now this piece here, sometimes you'll need to change it up a little bit. If it's too small in here, you'll need to trim it, but ours works pretty well. So we're going to slip this on here, get the holes into the screws there, and push it down. Okay, so now we've got do minor adjustments with where it's going to be, and work it, and then we've got our nuts. We're going to get those on there. So this secures this part to the flange, but right now it's not connected to anything, so that's not going to help. It does kind of secure it down a little bit. Okay, and we're going to tighten those down. I tighten them down pretty good, so it bends this a little bit, so the screws will kind of go sideways into the wood. I always have problems with the second one here. Always trying to loosen up. Okay. Now this is a little awkward position because this is the smaller bathroom. So just got to try to tighten it up enough that it will start ratcheting in itself. There we go. And we want this nice and secure because if we're traveling, we don't want it to go flying anywhere. Alright, that's nice and tight on there. We're going to have Ryan hand me the drill so that I can drill those in. Perfect. Alright. And then we're just going to drill these little babies into here. And these may actually be going into the floor a little bit too, but not by very much. So, don't want that down there. You end up with a lot of waste pieces in here that kind of stick to everything. Okay, last one, kind of an awkward position. Alright, nice and secure in there. Oops, sorry. Now, we have our actual tubes. So underneath here, you've got a smaller tube that's right up under here. So you can just put this, fit this right onto there and push it on really good so it doesn't come off. Okay, and then you've got a smaller tube and a smaller tube down here. So you need your adapter. So stick your adapter on there, tighten it on nice and tight, and then push in. Ugh, push all of that in there. There you go. Now the next piece that we're going to need is the black piece that the toilets, the solid bucket sits on. So we're going to grab that. Can you grab that? It's behind you. On the floor. Push down, good. Okay, so this just pushes in. It's got notches because the front does a corner thing here. We're going to just put this in here. I was able to push that water line a little bit further down. Nice tight fit in here because we've got the hose in there. So the hose is sitting down there. Okay, but it's good fit. Then we're going to put the bucket in here. Want to hand us the bucket? So your bucket fits in here. Now you don't have to take the lid off every time, but it's sitting up a little bit high, it looks like. So we might need to, this actually might be sitting up a little bit high because I think it'd be better if we go ahead and put the top on here first. But this I think is sitting up high. All right, let's see what we've got going on here. Okay. Okay, we didn't actually need these pieces here because this is a bigger one. Trial and error. Okay, so the bigger one goes down on the bottom one, and now this should slide all the way down. Nice and tight fit. Now when we put this bucket in here, it should fit properly. There we go. Now it's in there a little bit better. Now we're going to put the top on. So I'm going to go grab that, and we'll be right back. Okay, so this is our top. We're going to go ahead and put this in. We're going to have to flip it back over, and the little hole that's in here, I can see you, is going to fit right over the plastic part in here on the bucket. It's a much tighter fit than our last one, so I'm going to have to put some things down. Put all my screws up there. Whoa. Alright, so we flip it over and carefully put it in here. It's all lined up. Open up this, whoop. Oh, don't open that part. Okay. Now we're going to get our white piece, set it back here. Our little white piece, our little white trim. Stick that on there. And I can kind of see the holes down there, so it should be good. All lined up. Okay, where were our short screws? Do you remember? So our short screws go on the inside.
That's incorrect.
That is incorrect?
That is incorrect.
Where did it go?
On the back, because there's only 2 on the backs.
No, we need the long screws because there's more back there. We only needed the short screws because it needs to go through less.
Then why'd you put it in like that on the other toilet?
Because I made a mistake.
Well done.
So when I took these out of here, I actually paid attention to where the screws go. Okay, we're all done.